going on, Jerome's? So the Minnesota Vikings have a long, sordid history of luring some greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers across the river to, society. It's good times. Whether it be Ryan Longwell, who worked out pretty good, Bert Favore, who worked out pretty good for a year. Zadarius Smith worked out for a year. Greg Jennings, maybe not so much. But the latest chapter in that is Aaron Jones, the only talented Aaron the Packers have had on offense over the last couple years, is indeed coming across the river. What's up, Sylvie? She agrees. Signing a one-year deal with the Vikings. Tom Pelissero go. NFC North swap. The Vikings and former Packers running back Aaron Jones agreed to terms on one-year $7 million deal. South tell me and Rap Sheet. And the local Smokies, Vikings beat writers, pretty hyped up about this after having to watch Aaron Jones twice a year. Alec Lewis, the Athletic. It's done. A massive get, and running back Aaron Jones had the third highest yards after catch per attempt in the NFL. Packers offense transformed when he returned healthy. And that's not an insane take, because you look at the rise of Jordan Love. Remember, he was ass, thank you, the beginning part of the year. But once Aaron Jones got in there and got going, it really did open things up for Jordan Love quite a bit. Key piece, not only without Kirk Cousins, but also potentially with a quarterback draftee. Now we'll see if there's more to come on D. That's what she said. Also, Andrew Kramer, the Strib. Vikings are also signing former Packers running back Aaron Jones, as many others have noted. Jones, 29, but an instant upgrade, returned from an MCL injury and had 5 straight 100-yard games to close the season. He has more 100-yard rushing games versus Vikings than any other team. Just makes you feel good. Also, he had a rushing touchdown or two last year versus Madison did not. But the thing that I love most about it is it's clear that Jones has something left in the tank, even though he is going to be 30 in December. But also, Packers fans were so pissed off that Jones was cut because they thought that Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones would form a dynamic duo in the backfield after they jettisoned A.J. Dillon. Also, they're pissed that he went to the Vikings. So it works out pretty damn good. Now, a note on Josh Jacobs. So none of this is Josh Jacobs' fault. Like, he just signed a free agent deal. But the Packers did Aaron Jones so dirty. That they absolutely did. Where, Aaron Jones had been a team favorite. He'd been a fan favorite as well. He's adored in that community and that fan base. And he even took a pay cut last offseason to stick with the team. That's something that Dalvin Cook did not do with the Vikings. So they approached him about taking a pay cut again. It happens. Business is the business. But so he balked, but they held on to him. So they knew they were going to cut him, but they wanted to secure Josh Jacobs first. So they got their running back first. They could have cut Aaron Jones weeks ago and let him get a head start on free agency, because remember, cut players can sign before the start of legal tampering or the start of the new league year. But they didn't. They didn't. They held on to Aaron Jones until several high-profile running backs had already gotten paid. Before they cut him after several jobs had already been filled and a lot of cap space had been spent. So they absolutely did Aaron Jones dirty. That's not how you treat a fan favorite and a locker room favorite. It's just gross. But just shows you, the caliber of franchise that the Greasy, Grimy Green Bay Packers are. Now, before we get into, hey, why are the Vikings signing a running back who's going to be 30 this year when they cut Dalvin Cook last offseason when he was only going to be 28? So first off, it was clear that Dalvin had declined. Now, in 2022, yes, everyone remembers the long screen pass against the Colts, the 81-yard run against the Bills, but Dalvin had declined because the 5-yard the carries that used to be 5-yard runs were turning into 2-3. The carries that were 10 were turning into 5. So it was clear that Dalvin was on the decline. And it showed up last year, him with the Jets in limited work as well as with the Ravens. And with Madison, it just didn't work out with Madison last year, right? And also the thing, too, is that the Vikings saved $3.35 million by cutting Madison, so they're able to roll that into Aaron Jones. So the price tag of 1 year, $7 million, it ain't that bad. Also, notably, Jones does have something left in the tank. So carries of 10-plus yards in 2023. Aaron Jones, 21 of 142, 14.8% of his carries went for more than 10 yards. Madison, 17 out of 180, 9.4%. Dalvin, 4 out of 67, 5.9%. Now, yes, blah, 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 offensive line and scheme and who the quarterback is, sure. get into that, but Aaron Jones does have more bounce for the ounce. And like we said, he does turn 30 on December 2nd, is what it is, but he's 5'9", 209. So I love that running backs are still, like, they can be short and they can be stout. It's my kind of player. But he was a 2017 fifth-round pick out of UTEP, hence the sombrero all the time. He's from El Paso. UTEP, formerly Texas Western. Glory Road, baby. Let's go. Spent all of his 7 seasons, unfortunately, with the Packers. Career 59-40 rushing yards, 45 rushing touchdowns, career 5.5 yards per carry. He was a 2020 Pro Bowler. He also tied for the league lead with rushing touchdowns. 2019 was 16. He has a career 272 catches, 2,076 yards receiving, 18 touchdowns through the air. So he is an adept 3-down running back, except he never really was like the RB1 with the Packers. Like, he was always splitting time with Jamal Williams, and then he was splitting time with A.J. Dillon. So that actually could be beneficial for the Vikings because he doesn't have the mileage on him like some other 7-8 year running backs like Dalvin Cook had, or even though Dalvin missed a lot of games due to injury. Or certainly like what Derrick Henry had. And the Vikings had been rumored to be in on guys like Tony Pollard and potentially Saquon. So, the Vikings clearly were going to add a veteran running back at some point. Last season, so he did have that MCL injury to start the year. Slowed him down a little bit, but once he came back, he was a force. 656-yard rushings, 2 touchdowns, 4.6 yards per carry, and he also went off in the playoffs from the Purple Persuasion. When he finally got healthy for the Packers playoff run last season, in 2 postseason games, he finished with 39 carries, 226 rushing yards, 5.8 yards per attempt, 3 touchdowns, 4 catches for 21 yards as well. This was against the 4th and 5th best defenses in the NFL per DVOA. You're looking at the Cowboys as well as the Niners. So Aaron Jones can still certainly do it at his age, and also the fact that it pisses off Packers fans is even sweeter. But what he brings to the Vikings is locker room leadership. So there is going to be a veteran power vacuum on that side of the ball because you have guys like KJ Osborne likely leaving. Kirk Cousins is gone. Alexander Madison is gone as well. So there is a power vacuum on the offensive side of the rock. Also veteran savvy, where I feel like Jones is so good where he's got all the veteran tricks, whether it's avoiding contact, taking what the defense gives you, being able to read blocks, being able to do a lot of things, taking care of his body. I think that's why he's playing into an age where a lot of running backs have a clear fall off. And also the fact, like we said, that he wasn't a pure bell cow over the 7 years in Green Bay could potentially have kept him fresher throughout the years. He's also very good at yards after contact, 3.35 yards per carry. Also, he's PFF's 3rd highest graded running back over the last 7 seasons. He was in the league. He still has that burst, like we said, 21 carries of 10 plus yards in 11 games last year. A weapon in the screen game. He's a solid pass protector. And again, he's not being brought in to replace Ty Chandler. I still think that Ty Chandler is RB1, but Jones is going to be in the thick of that mix as well. And the Vikings, so Chandler and Aaron Jones, that's a nice 1-2 combination, even though stylistically there is quite a bit of overlap. I would still like to see the Vikings pick up some sort of hammer in the running game. Audric Estime, Guarendo could make sense. Maybe some Braylon Allen as well, even though he's a stupid Badger. Well, Guarendo was a stupid Badger too. Doesn't matter. But then the rest of the running back room, King Kene, can he be more than just a kick returner, especially since they're neutering the kick return? Who knows? Dwayne McBride, could the Vikings get something out of Blazer, last year's 7th round pick? And then Gaskin is a solid all-around running back, but he's not going to move the needle much. And then C.J. Ham is the best fullback in football. Sorry, Kyle Juszczyk. The fact that Kyle Juszczyk, the most notable thing about him is that his wife makes those awesome jackets. Please. C.J. Ham forever. That's all, man. But, like I said, I'm just happy that this pisses off Packers fans, and also the Vikings running back room is improved. Aaron Jones is a huge improvement over Madison from last year. He's a huge improvement over the remnants of Dalvin Cook from 2 years ago. So also the fact that he's not being brought in to be RB1, makes all the sense in the world. And now, will Asma give up 33? I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Vikings sign Greasy, Grimy, Green Bay Packers running back Aaron Jones to a 1-year, $7 million deal. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the... Actually, no. Get that jersey out of there. There we go. Skull production value.